Okay, so there are people
Mm-hmm.
who I've heard from at church and from around who say, I am not going to, sometimes it's just get married, and then sometimes it's also get married and have children.
Uh-huh.
And say, I'm not doing that because God has told me not to.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Okay.
So is that legit?
Yeah.
Like, is that an acceptable excuse to not do mandate number one, which is go have sex and make babies?
I don't think that's necessarily just mandate number one, but I do think that it's legit in the sense of, 1 Corinthians 7 talks about Paul, that he's single, and he even implores people to see where he says, hey, I wish that y'all were as me. Like if you have to get married, go get married. But it'd even be better if you were like me and single. Okay.
Well, he didn't read the first part of the Bible then.
Right. So Paul was single. He didn't have kids.
Okay.
And so I think that the call to singleness, I think, could be legitimate.
Okay.
I know someone.
And you're saying singleness, no children.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's individuals that have gotten, pregnant outside of wedlock who are single now and choose to remain single while raising that child. And I can, and I'm not condemning them either. Right. Okay. I mean, obviously you wish they had not gotten pregnant outside of wedlock, but things happen, decisions are made. And so, you have mercy, you have forgiveness, and then they're trying to do their best to raise that child, go for it. Right. And then I know couples that have gotten married and their decision is we don't want to have children.
Okay.
And so,
and you think that's okay?
It always concerns me. Okay. It's like, so for example, there's a couple that I know and it concerns me for them, but I know they love Jesus. I know they love the Lord. I know they want to serve him. I know they want to use their time, their energy, and their efforts to serve the Lord as a married couple with no kids. I know they want to use their careers to serve the Lord. I know that's what they like. They want to serve the Lord, but they also they're choosing to not have kids, not because they can't, but because that's just a choice they have made. And do I get concerned for them? I do. And my concern is, okay, it may be okay now, and I can understand your justification because you want to do things for the Lord and that kind of stuff. And that may be the way it works out for the rest of your life, right? But I always get concerned man, you don't know what you're missing out on. Like that's a person. That's more of a personal thing, than like a "Thus saith the Lord." This is what God says in the Bible.
But you're saying that you do think there are some people, potentially married people, that God has called not to have children.
Yes, I can go there.
Okay.
Yes, because of whether it's because of what God has called them to, in ministry or not just in ministry, but just in career. I can see that.
Okay.
And so, but yeah, you just hopeful that they're prayerful and discerning about it, and that they're not making that decision because based off of something else, of afraid to be a mom and dad, afraid to raise kids. I would hate for fear to be a primary reason why people choose not to have kids.